guys, welcome. My name is Moo, and I am trying to understand this game. Anyway, so this game is called Uninvited Guest. You start off as a person that your son, I think it was sick, and no, your daughter. It was either your son or your daughter, a kid of yours, I think, was sick, and you needed the money to get medicine, but you couldn't afford it at this point. So you go out and you are like a collector, I think they came and said that, oh, but there's a painting in this house, and I want to get that painting, and then you take the you go into the mansion to go grab the painting. It's a very forward game, meaning that it's very linear. There's no way for you to kind of stray into the wrong sections or so. You walk straight forward. So that one is kind of easy. You click on your mouse button to interact with things. So you need to WASD to just move around, and then your mouse to look around and then interact with things. So very, very easy mechanics. In this game, you also do have secrets, which is like small figurines that you go and pick up throughout the game, which was kind of fun. I like to collect those kind of stuff, so I like those stuffs. It is a scary game. It's definitely abundance of jump scares in this game. After some time, you get used to the jump scares, so you stop becoming scared of them. At least I do. I think this game could have benefited from having a little bit less jump scares and focus more on the scary atmosphere, which is it is kind of scary. Because one of the scary things that I like about this game is that in a lot of places when you're walking and you're looking around, there's going to be like a face looking at you that kind of goes around the corner when you turn your camera towards it. So small things like that, I think that they actually capture. So I think that's really, really nice. What I do feel though with regards to this one is that it has a little bit too many jump scares, like pure jump scares, meaning that you're walking forward, something will appear straight in front of you, or will just suddenly run towards you, or things like that. I think it would be I think it would benefit a lot from reducing the amount of jump scares, and focus, like I said, more on the atmosphere, having those hidden things where people, like when they're coming or peeking around the corner and going back when you look at them, or things like that, because I think that feels more for me scary, because that's the atmosphere making it scary, not just sudden jump scares, because of course it will make you jump, but it's also going to get old quite quickly. So it's a little bit too much of that. There's also two puzzles that I think one puzzle actually bugged for me, and then the second puzzle I just got really frustrated from. One puzzle was you were standing in a really dark room, and there was like a statue that was kind of like crossing the room, and you needed to avoid getting hit by that statue. And because it was so dark, it was so difficult sometimes to see from which direction it's coming from. And it was quite quick, and you are really slow because you cannot run. So it was a lot of learning where to position so that you can easily position out of the place you are. And then the place you can stand on was also quite small, meaning that you could not like move around that much. And it was I felt like it was a small margin of error in that place, which I feel could have been improved, but what maybe there was more to it than I knew, but it was also quite dark, so it was very difficult, so that frustrated me. And the second one, I do believe that I might have gotten a bug in it, because you are running forward, and then at some point, which I realized, there is a certain line, and that as soon as you get to that line, you will like break your ankles, or you will fall, or you will be kind of stopped. A lot of times I was unable to continue moving forward from that point, meaning that I got there, I got the stop, and then I was unable to proceed. I think there was like 2 or 3 times where I managed to proceed, and the first time I managed, I kind of was, how to say, like I was able to proceed, but then I positioned myself at the end in a bad position, and I wasn't able to proceed because you needed to climb on one thing, and it was only on one side of the map. So I was positioned on a little bit more towards the other side, meaning that I didn't have time to go back up to the ramp where I needed to go. On top of that, the second time, I think I fucked up that one as well, I think. And then the third time I actually managed to I knew where to position, I knew where to walk and such, but it was like I did that quite a lot of times, like stopping at that point, and then I was unable to move forward at all. So I do believe that it might have been a bug, because I didn't do anything in particularly different in the times where I was able to move forward compared to the times where I didn't move forward. The only thing that I feel like that my mechanic wise I would have done is hold or press shift at the wrong timing, for example, because I do tend to still press shift when I'm trying to run, and you can't run in this game, so that could actually have been something that stopped me from proceeding, but I have no clue. Like it felt, I felt like I tried to not press forward at times, but it still didn't work. Now is the difficult question. Do I recommend this game? I'm actually leaning more towards no. I don't think it was particularly expensive. I think for the price that you paid, I think it was nice. But I do believe it is a little bit too, like, I don't mind it being too linear, but what I believe was the issue is there was too many jump scares. So it was jump scare after jump scare after jump scare, and I think that it could have focused a little bit more on other aspects of scary aspects than just jump scares. Because I felt like the jump scare is just so many too often. So it doesn't become, like, it stopped being scary after some time, and it's more focused on the jump scare than actually being scared of the game, if that makes sense. So you have these sections where it's like, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, and then in the middle of those, there's not much scary part, you know, or like not much scary feeling to it. Meaning that there's a lot of things that they could have done. They could have, like, yeah, there's a lot of things they could have done. So I unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna recommend this game, actually. Despite that it had, the story was a little bit interesting, but it could have been a little bit more evolved. And what really fucked me over in this whole game, which I felt like they could have, that was actually really good, to be honest. I really think that the ending was really good, because throughout this whole game, I had the feeling that we were like in the 1800s or something. Like we were in the olden days, in the medieval times, or like maybe a little bit after medieval times, you know? Because it felt like that whole atmosphere was kind of like old. I had a cart, the house looked really old. But then at the very end, there's a twist there. So I really liked that ending, but I don't think that the ending is like, because the problem with that is that I don't know if this game actually supposed to be set in the olden days, or if it's actually supposed to be in like a modern day time, just an old mansion, if that makes sense. So for me, if it was meant to be like that we are in the olden days and then the twist at the end, I love that. I really, really love that. But if it wasn't, then it's just a funny coincidence that I actually managed to love that. Unfortunately, I still don't recommend this game. But I do see that story twist to be very, very interesting. So that was really well done. So thank you so much for watching. I hope I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy it, then, well, you're just gonna have to watch me dance awkwardly once again.